All right, welcome to Sports Talk. Being joined now by Kam, and Kam and I are going to have to try to be civil during this conversation because I'm an MSU alum, and you?
I'm an Arizona State alum, so I mean, this Saturday is going to be a little contentious for the two of us, I think, but it should be a lot of fun. And I mean, other than us just having dogs in this fight, of course, it's actually a really interesting matchup because it's two programs that were kind of in a similar spot as of having a really disappointing year last year. I mean, Mississippi State not making it to the bowl game for the first time in what seems like forever. And then Arizona State went 3-9 with the new coach. I mean, it was truly painful to watch. As someone who watched every single game, it was not fun, which is what a lot of State fans kind of said.
We've been there. Yeah, we've been how that kind of goes.
So lots of parallels. But then week one happened, and both teams look a whole lot better. I mean, let's start with Mississippi State. That's what people care about against Eastern Kentucky, so I guess you kind of have to give them a little leeway there. But you play who's in front of you, and man, Jeff Lebby promised showtime, and that's exactly what that offense was looking like.
Yeah, just being down there on the field for that game. If you were shooting that game, and you've shot college football games, so after one shot, you kind of maybe adjust your camera, put it down a little bit. Not with this offense. With this offense, after they snap the ball and they get it back, you don't have time because by the time you look up, the ball's in the air or somebody's running with it again.
Yeah, how big of an adjustment is that maybe for a defense, as someone who played defense like you? I don't know if you ever played a team with the pace of play like this, but in your mind, how big of an adjustment is it to play a team like that?
Yeah, when I played, their offenses weren't moving like this. There was about 20 years ago, so the fullback was still a big part of the offenses and things were a lot slower. But I can tell you this for someone who played defense, when you're going up against an offense that is that quickly, you just have to know what defense you're supposed to be in before the ball is even snapped and just play to your assignments because you can't, as a coach, you can't change up too many things because your players won't have time to look around and see how the offense is lined up, what they might be doing. Is this run formation or pass formation? So those are some of the reasons why this offense can work because the defense, they just have to play their normal defense mostly because they can't make too many adjustments.
That's right. And so for Arizona State, in that Wyoming game, not sure how many people were staying up till about midnight watching Wyoming, Arizona State, but Arizona State's defense had a pick six on the very first drive, which kind of kick-started them. So I think a key for Mississippi State this week is going to be execution, which, I mean, coaches say that every single week, but when you're in a hostile environment, they're going down to Tempe, it's a 9:30 local time kick here, that you cannot let that crowd into the game. So Mississippi State, they have the ability to really jump out to a quick start with this offense, but it's going to be minimizing those mistakes. And don't let that Arizona State crowd kind of get into it, because Arizona State, believe this or not, they've never beaten an SEC school in the history of the school. So they're going to be up for this one. Head coach Kenny Dillingham has said that he wants a sellout, the biggest student section out there. So, I mean, it's going to be, this is kind of, I feel like it's a big game for both teams because both teams want to eventually make a bowl game. If you look at Mississippi State's schedule, this is a must-win. And if you look at Arizona State's schedule, I think they think this is a very winnable game on their end that could kind of kickstart their season after having an abysmal season last year.
Well, no shade to you, but I hope that your guys go down this Saturday because the Bulldogs, SEC. We can't be the first SEC team to lose to Arizona State.
No, you don't want that. And hey, I'm going to be an objective journalist about it all. So, I mean, I'll be watching and everything like that, but it should be a lot of fun. And another team that's been a whole lot of fun has been Ole Miss in week one, man. Jackson Dart, I don't know if you know this, the new Heisman odds came out for this week. Jackson Dart shot up to tied for the favorite for the Heisman with Dylan Gabriel and with Dylan Gabriel and I forget the third person, but it doesn't matter because Jackson Dart looked really good in one half of ball. He had 6 total touchdowns, 5 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, again, they were playing Furman. And I think both of us kind of expect more of the same this week. They play Middle Tennessee at home at 3:15. It's kind of just a tune-up until you get to SEC play.
Yeah, pretty much. For Jackson Dart, this has to be very exciting. I mean, Eli Manning is the last quarterback I remember from Ole Miss that had Heisman hype. So for him to get it puts him in that same conversation with the Eli Mannings of the world. So, that's great. And I know you're a sports guy, so you can't be biased. I'm doing news now. Hell State.
Root on your dogs. Go for it.
I'm going to. All right, tell weathers after the break.